In this lab, we shall learn about very commonly used elements on web pages, namely hyperlinks, denoted by the A tag, and images, denoted by the img tag. First, let's look at hyperlinks, or links as they are commonly known. Hyperlinks can perform one of three functions. The first function is to navigate to another part of the same web page, right? So by clicking a hyperlink, you can move on to another part of the same web page. The second function a hyperlink can perform is to load another web page or an external page, right? So that could be another page on your website, or it could be another page on some other website. The third function that a hyperlink can perform is to trigger an event, right? So for example, you can use a hyperlink to call JavaScript functions to perform certain other functions. One of the key characteristics of a hyperlink is that when you move your mouse pointer over a hyperlink, the pointer changes to the hand symbol, right? Of course, you can always change that behavior by using CSS. So let's start looking at hyperlinks in more detail. So in this file, we have defined two hyperlinks. The first one is associated with an href attribute. Now, href attribute is something which is unique to hyperlinks, right? And that will define the functionality of your hyperlink in most cases. So in this first instance of the hyperlink on our page, what we want to do is we want to load google.com. So let's see how we go about it. So we have the href attribute. We shall type in the Google URL, okay, and we'll do something else as well, right? We will use the target attribute with the underscore blank value. Now, why is that important and what does it do? So let's say that the target attribute is not present. So what's going to happen is when a visitor to your website clicks on this hyperlink, google.com is going to load on his browser window. But google.com is not aware of your web page, right? So there will not be any other hyperlink or a method for that visitor to come back to your page unless and until he uses the browser's back button. So now that's something that you would not want to happen, right? If you use target equal to underscore blank as we've done here, what it will do is load google.com on a different browser window or a different browser tab, right? So it's always a good idea whenever you're loading external web pages, or in other words, web pages that are not part of your website, to load them in a separate window, right? So let's save this, okay, and hit preview. Okay, so let's first click the second hyperlink. So what does the second hyperlink do here? So what we've done here, we have the href attribute and we are pointing that href attribute to link dest. So what is link dest here? Link dest is the ID of this particular major heading. So if you click on this, let's do it. So as we see, you are taken directly to that particular content on your web page, on the same web page. However, if we click on let's go to Google website link, so there you go, you're back. The Google web page is loaded on a different browser tab. This is exactly what we wanted. So great so far. Let's now move on to the next step. So now let's show you an example where any HTML element starts behaving like a link. Okay, what we're doing here is we're using advanced concepts of JavaScript. So do not worry if you do not understand how it's happening. We shall cover these concepts in a later module. What we wanted to do is to give you an idea that you need not restrict yourself to hyperlinks alone to achieve certain functionality. In general, any HTML element can be converted into a link in terms of its behavior. So let's just hit preview here. Okay, so what happens if you, so again you move your mouse pointer on click me, and you can see that it shows the hand symbols, which is essentially what a hyperlink would do. Now let's click this, so you see that the next set of content disappears. If you click again, well, it reappears. So this heading tag behaves like a hyperlink, but it is not really a hyperlink. Alright. Now that we've learned about hyperlinks and how they are predominantly used on web pages, let's look at the image tag. Right. Now, in this example below, we have two image elements on line 15 and 16. On line 15, what we'll do is we shall use an image file that is already available on the server, right? So let's type in happy.png. In the second image tag, what we would like you to do is search for an image URL using Google and point the source attribute to that image URL, right? So we'll leave that as an exercise for you to do. So let's save this and hit preview. So there you see, you actually see the happy.png image appearing on your page. Now what you can do is you can also combine your hyperlink and image tags to create an image link. So you must have encountered web pages where you can click an image and it will either take you to a different web page or perform some action. Now how is that done? It is done by including the image element inside a hyperlink element, right? So I'll leave that to you as an exercise, and I trust that you will have enough opportunity to experiment with hyperlinks and images using this interface so that you're comfortable with how they are used.